Hello everybody, and welcome to this live stream. I hope you enjoy your stay here. It will last a certain amount of time, and then it won't. I don't know why this is so bright, but there it is. It is a bright nigga jamma. How you doing? Are you done um, making people talk about peens and stuff like that over at the other place? I'm a jammy Dodger, baby. Don't know exactly what all of those words mean together, but it sounds attractive. We're gonna whistle at that. That's gonna be a whistle, and we'll do some of this. There you go. Hello, everybody. Say hello in the chat. Let us know where you are. Let us know how you're doing. Let us know what you're having to drink. And let us know if you're ready for me to spill a little bit of the tea. I don't even know if that's a thing anymore. I'm sure people do other things now to start talking shit. What is it? We're not going to talk shit here. I just want that to be clear. Like I have nothing against Bookish. Like me and him are good. I love his videos. So if you're looking for like super awesome like trash talk, you're not going to get that here. We're just having a conversation about things that we have noticed in each other's videos, someone else's video, and Hemingway. So it'll be fine. And maybe we'll talk a little bit about ego, because that was a fun conversation over on Adam Gary's channel. You know what? I just found out today that Adam Gary's full name is Adam Gary Poetry. I just thought it was Adam Gary, but no, he's like the Jonathan Taylor Thomas of poetry. I had no idea. But anyway, so here we go. We're gonna do this. Let me turn on this bulb of ideas. There we go. Then I'm going to flip this rickety switch of ideas. I'm going to trip over that box. Then I'm going to walk over here and scratch my head. I'm going to finish my cup of coffee. And then I'm going to have a Kirin Ichiban, possibly followed by a Stella. And then maybe some wine whose label I ripped off. Now we need an equally world-shattering Matt Wall revelation. All right, you got one. You got it. What can I reveal? Dude, that would be really fun if I just revealed something just outrageous. Tick tock, tick tock. What the hell can I... I'm trying to think if there's anything I haven't... Do it be outrageous. There's no one else here. It's just you, me, 3 other people, and then whoever watches this in the future. This is the thing. It's practically private. It's practically just you and me on a phone call. I got this. I honestly am trying to think. I don't know. Cheryl! Hello, how you doing? How are you doing? I really don't know if there's things that I don't talk about. I feel like everything, like I was just talking about this earlier, that like, not only do I like wear my heart on my sleeve, but like I'm basically like, go away, Cheryl. Jokes. But like I feel like I'm a glass of water, like a see-through glass that's in the sink with the faucet turned on, and like the water's just filling the glass up, and it's just constantly overflowing. It's just constantly water's just pouring out of the glass. I don't know if I have like I'm driving to get more coffee. There you go, son. Are you working tonight? Is that why you're drinking coffee so late in the afternoon, sir? Um, yeah, I feel like so you're overshooting your rim. I don't understand the sexual connotations of what you're saying, but okay. Explain yourself a little bit more. Oh my god. Ichiban. Oh, speaking of ego, like there you go. Um Matt Wall Ichiban. Apologies, that was a little try hard even for me. What was it though? I don't get it. I'm off today, but I always drink coffee. It's 4 p.m. Yeah, it's 1, and I'm finishing this coffee and then going into my burr. Ah, Matwall Ichiban. It was a euphemism. But am I overshooting my rim or overshooting your rim? Like, I don't understand how the euphemism works. Maybe I should. Is this something I should know? I have to quit smoking both twice. Oh my God, I'm so confused even more now. So, me overshooting your rim twice and my rim twice. Jesus Christ. Um, you probably should quit smoking, Jeff, but are you talking what thing are you talking about quitting? Just cigarettes? I am having it's not like I'm having a hard time, but it's just like I just want um a cigarette. Don't dial it down, joke hard. If you can't joke hard, like what's the fucking point? But Nikki, you need to read the room and understand your audience. And if you're joking in British of ye old England, and nobody knows what the fuck you're talking about, you have to just like dumb it down for the peasants. But or just be a little more on the nose. Just be a little more on the nose. Like just hit it on the head. Okay, so butts. Yeah. I get you. And that's so Boston. I'm gonna go crack some butts. I'm gonna go hit some butts. Got it. Don't crack jokes around people whose country is younger than my chair. Whoa, that sounds like you're like really being snooty now. Oh my gosh. Just because you got an old ass, don't make me any dumber than I was before. So tell me all about it. Oh my gosh. This is a train wreck. Wait, don't put me in the No one's going in the abyss. I don't even know if I have an abyss here. I don't even know how to do it. Dude, I see Adam do stuff on his stream. I'm like, I have no idea how this is even happening. How do you do these things? I don't get it. I just completely don't understand. I didn't say. I know. You didn't. You're fine. You're fine. It's okay. Go back to telling your dirty British jokes. We all enjoyed those. So, do we want to hit bollocks? There we go. Yeah. Do we want to hit ego um as well before, or are we okay? Did we beat that dead horse? Oh, this is another video I did and I didn't even know. Oh my gosh. I recorded a video 2 days ago and did not save it. So it's just sitting there looking at me. That is awful. Okay. So, does anybody have any questions about anything within the next 10 minutes that we could talk about before we get into the response to the response to the response? Because I've never done a live response video before. So, this will be kind of exciting and new. We will see how it goes. Very, very intrigued. Oh, I also got some stuff at the Broad again. I'm wicked boss. Totally, man. Totally, totally, totally. You got to go to Dunks, get some Dunks. Let me see. Yeah, so I went to the Broad like twice this week. And yesterday I ended up getting a bunch of crap. I'll do a video on the stuff that I got, but just to show you guys what I got. I got talked into this, and I was a little bummed out. I'm not bummed out about it, but like that's where awesome, dude. Yeah, dude. You gotta get your dunks, man. Shit. So I got talked into a bag, and I don't need a bag, but I got talked into a bag by a not even very good salesman. He just saw me look at it and touch it, and he's like, "Oh, you want this bag? Let me tell you how to get this bag." So this is the bag I got. Let me see if I could move that. So I'm like, okay, so I will use this when I go shopping for bananas at the grocery store. There's no other reason to have this bag. It's a nice bag, but what the fuck do I need a bag for? Like, I'm really not a bag guy, but now I have a bag. So that happened. And I got some books. Should I show you guys the books? Do you guys want to see the books? I'll show you the books. I'll show you the books. In this beautiful Broad bag that I didn't need the bag for because they gave me a big bag. Okay. So these are some books I've been wanting to get for a while, and I just went ahead and did it so I don't have to think about doing it anymore. So this is the first one I got, The Modern Art book by Tashin. This big ass chunky book. And if you saw that video I did where I was in the gift shop, I even said, I'm like, oh, that's a big ass book for only 25 bucks. That's not bad. I like it. So it just goes through modern art. Look at all that. Look at all of that stuff. And apparently, for those of you who don't know, modern art is art. I can't remember the actual start date, but it's like either late 1800s or early 1900s up until like the late 70s, roughly. And then contemporary art is what's happened since then till now. So there you go. In case you did not know that thing. There it is. Okay. So I got that. Then I got this. I have not unwrapped it yet. And I will do that on the video where I unwrap it. But why does it have like a paper over the front? Anyway, this is the Basquiat. What is it? 40. It's not 40, but this was Tashin's 40th anniversary or something like that. The most complete monograph on Basquiat that exists. Now, check this out. There is another book like this that is a big, giant hardcover book for like 200 bucks. that I really, really want. And it has like pages that fold out like center folds and all this other shit. And this is like not the Cliff Notes version, but like the baby version of that big ass book. So I do want that book, and that will probably be something that I do at some point. Okay. But yeah, so I got that. And when I do the video, I'll unwrap it. And then finally, I got this big chunker. This is probably the one out of these that I've wanted for the longest time. And I just haven't done it. So, yes. 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 The big ass Keith Haring book. So, I'm super, super, super geeked out over this thing. I cannot wait to dig into this and dig into this and dig into this and dig into this. Super cool. Anyway, so that's that. So that's what I got. And then I got my kid some stuff because I went with my kid. And so it was a nice day. It was a nice day. And then I also got some other stuff. Should I show you guys that stuff too? I got gifted some amazing stuff. Here, let me show you. I will show you a little bit, not all of it, but a little bit. There. So this is what I got gifted. A new camera, which is kind of awesome. It's an action camera. Yeah, so it's like a GoPro, but not a GoPro, but that's okay. Because I could always use more cameras. So I absolutely love that. Oh my God. Yeah. So it's like, oh my God. It has a handlebar, pole mount, tripod compatible, quick Wi-Fi download. That's awesome, actually. I wonder if my GoPro has Wi-Fi download. I would much rather that. And it looks like it has a waterproof cage on it. Does it? It's got some cool accessories. What is that? Because like I have that in here too. So let me show you the rest of this stuff before I start like going crazy. Oh my God, that's so funny. I won't show you that because that is ridiculous. But I also got this badass thing. So that's a whole other thing. Thank you again. All right. So other accessories. I don't know what most of these are. So if you guys use GoPros and stuff like that, please tell me. So this looks like some sort of Velcro strap. This looks like some stick of some kind. Don't know what that's for. I'm gonna have to look all of this up. This is like a little wrench thing if you put your screws on too tight. These are a bunch of the adhesive stuff to put on the bottom of certain things. More of the like little bumper things. A ton of little clips so you could pull the cameras in and out of different things and put them on stuff. This is I think this is either a chest mount or a wrist mount. This is an arm mount, like an armband thing. This is, that is dropped. More attachments. A handlebar pole mount thing. And what else? A clip mount, like to just clip it onto something. and a fucking car mount. The car mount I'm going to get the most use out of because there's so many times when I'm like having to hold the camera or like just set it up on something. So this is amazing. And then just another mount. So, I mean, like, I appreciate so much that you gave this stuff to me. I am going to use the crap out of this. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It was a very kind thing. I appreciate it. So yeah, so that's a ton of equipment, and I'm geeked as F about that. So, what else is going on, guys, before we get into this Hemingway thing? Anything? Anything of note you would like to shoot the shizzle with before we go? Before we go? Nope. Okay, then let's get into this. Let's go. I think I'm going to play his video. I can't play it for you guys because when I tried to do the stream, to schedule the stream through OBS, it wouldn't let me do a time. My 5-year-old is obsessed with sci-fi books from the 80s due to the covers. Dude, the covers of those books are amazing. Like, and Caitlin, hello, how are you? But yeah, I couldn't figure out how to so now when we go to the bookstores, he will only buy those with his allowance. Oh, that's adorable. Does he read them or he just likes looking at the picture? I think I did that. Like I was buying like books before I could read them. He can't read. Yeah, 5-year-old. Yeah, totally. Oh yeah, I couldn't figure out how to schedule a stream and have it work with what I was trying to do today. I don't know if that makes sense. I can't really articulate what the fucking problem was. I don't even really remember now. But I can't do the thing on OBS on this stream. So I'm going to have to just play it. So you'll hear it. And here, I will put the link to his video here. I think it's in the comments down below, I think. Or not the comments, but the description. I think I put it in there. But anyway, so Bookish made a response video to my video about Hemingway and Book Fox. And his video is called Is Writing an Art or a Craft? And there are like me and Brian are cool. Like we don't have any beef with each other, I don't think. Like I have no problem with him. He has no problem with me. So I think we're good. But I feel like there are some things that he said in his video that aren't exactly how I feel. But the reason why I feel like he thinks that might be because of things that I've said, but also because because I know certain things about how I feel. So I assume you guys know. Like if I start telling you something, I feel like you guys already have some of the backstory. So I don't need to like specify certain things. But that's not the case. And I shouldn't expect everyone to know everything that's going on in my head, just like you guys shouldn't expect everyone to know what's going on in your head, whether it is you making a YouTube video or your relationships and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like we have to kind of beat the dead horse on a lot of stuff. And I go out of my way to not do that. And I feel like that has been a detriment to me. I feel like a lot of times I'm misunderstood because I don't explain myself thoroughly. So I don't know if that's necessarily a back pedal. I mean, you guys will decide when you guys see what I'm talking about here. But there are certain things that like um I want to make sure that we're all clear on. I feel like this is why I don't explain myself because I'm very shit at it. So let's just watch Brian's video here. Or you guys won't watch it. You will hear me watching it at 2 speed. And you say, why do you watch it on 2 speed? And it's because I watch everything on 2 speed. So here we go. Can you guys hear that okay? If you can, like I'll keep checking back in. But yeah, so here we go. I also want to say I disagreed with a lot of it, but I also agreed with a couple of the things that the Mr. Fox said. You don't hear anything? Oh no. Okay, so let me crank this up a little bit and make sure you guys could hear it. La 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 la. I don't hear anything. Well, we'll keep doing it like this, and if you can't hear it, then like we'll figure something else out. But oh, that really bums me out. I wonder if Google is smart enough to mute its own shit. We will see. Okay, let's go back to this. Okay, so again, um, even though in that video I disagreed with a lot of stuff, there were a couple things that I did agree with. So it wasn't just like a blanket disagreement on everything. Okay, moving right along. Okay, so right there too, I hopefully you guys can hear it now. I don't know why you wouldn't be able to. I'm trying to think of I hear. Okay, you hear it. Okay. He says that I couldn't. Wow, that's so weird. Can you hear me, Caitlin? That's so weird. That is so weird. Um, but like writing advice, okay. That is really weird. So basically, what he said was that you shouldn't take everybody's writing advice, and that's true. Um, I honestly don't even think you should take my writing advice. Like my writing advice works for me. It might not work for you. Some of you it will work for, but not for everybody. Like I understand that. In fact, if you spent less time watching videos on how to write, including this channel, if you oh, I thought you meant now. Okay, so you can't hear it either. Okay, so let me do it like this then, because I don't know why the fuck that's not working. Um, I'll do it like this. Actually, let me do this real quick too. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. You can save hours creating a treatment plan. Wow. Wiley treatment planners. This extensive line. Do exactly. Okay. This is a response video to a response video about Ernest Hemingway's writing advice. I'm not going to talk much about Ernest Hemingway, I promise. Okay. Hello, welcome back. Welcome to a video which I'm doing the response video that Matt Wall did in response to a video that Link Channel called Book Fox did, in which Book Fox went over like 9 elements of writing that could be gleaned from Hemingway's writing advice or the way in which Hemingway wrote. And the Book Fox guy broke them all down one by one. And Matt went in and talked about where he disagreed with each one of those things and made some statements about. Okay, so that's where I said, like, you can hear it now. Okay, good. I didn't disagree with everything. I disagreed with a lot of it, but not everything. Almost everything. I think there was like one thing I'm like, yeah, I agree with that right there. Okay. That I wanted to address. First, you need to know there's absolutely zero hostility in this video, none whatsoever. I watch Matt's channel all the time. None, bro. His advice about publishing and creating art and doing all those things. Just because he and I might disagree on a few finer points here doesn't mean that there's any hostility aimed at him. He said his video would make people like Ernest Hemingway mad. I like Ernest Hemingway. His video didn't make me mad, but it did make me think. So, by the way, see me looking down. I have no cards. I want to make sure I cover all the points I'm going to cover. So that's why this is a little bit more scripted than normal. So first, let me give the Hemingway stuff right out of the gate. Let me just say, you should not be following anyone's writing advice 100% of the time. What you should do with writing advice is to listen to it, take in what you think works, maybe try it, and find out what works for you. Because one of the things I think is true about writing in general is that writing is a fairly idiosyncratic activity that we all do it. Yeah. So, like, right off the bat, I can't understand it because it's so fast. Okay. Well, you should go watch his video then. Like, I just play my videos fast, and I also don't want to just like play his video as his video, because normally if I was making a video like this, I would just cut out the parts that I want to talk about, but I don't want to just play his whole video. Oh, dude, I totally shared all of this like super secret stuff about me. You totally missed it. But welcome back. Okay. Maybe I shouldn't do this here. Maybe I should just talk about certain things and then we can talk about it, and then maybe I'll make a video about it later. Quit setting me up to say horrible things, Nikki. Jeez. Okay, let me try it like this. Okay, I put his video in the description, so now I'm just going to talk about stuff. We won't do the play-by-play how I would normally do a response video. Okay, I agree. Do not follow someone's writing advice 100% of the time. I wouldn't even follow someone's writing advice 50% of the time or 25% of the time. Back to what I was saying, the more you waste your time watching people giving advice, the less time you're going to have to write. And that is total self-sabotaging for me to tell you that, because like I obviously get something out of doing this here on YouTube, but I know that there's like enough people who need to hear certain things every once in a while that it'll be okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, here is the what do you call it? The catch 22 of somebody who gives writing advice. If somebody is online, let's say, like this, we're not talking about Hemingway now, we're talking about like YouTube people right now. If anyone on YouTube or anywhere else that does like writing shit, writing courses, writing tip videos, and all this other stuff, if these people were really good at what they were doing and what they want you to think they are, you would come and watch one of their videos like one time, and then you would be able to go and never need writing advice again because you just figured it out. And then that person would then have gained that like patron, but then lost that person at the same time because they are now obsolete. The problem is that we are constantly evolving and constantly learning. So that's why we have to be in these situations like YouTube where like I give advice, and then for the last however many years, a lot of you guys have been coming and listening to it. A lot of times too, some of the advice that like I give or other people give, it's only good at certain points in your life. Like you have to be ready to hear a certain thing before you're like, oh, that resonates with me. I can do something with that. Because like you could hear someone give you advice all day long, every day. But if you're not ready to take that in and apply it, what good is it? So the only thing I'm saying about taking writer advice and all this other stuff is spend more time creating, spend more time writing, and less time seeking advice. Trust yourself just a little bit more than you do now. Like if you are going to write for 30 minutes a day, only allow yourself 15 minutes a day to look for advice or tips or anything like that. If you are going to write for 2 hours a day, only do like a half hour of whatever. Okay. Now the here's the humdinger or whatever. The fact that I said this to you automatically means that you shouldn't listen to it and you should do whatever the fuck you want. Because the whole thing of me talking to you about this is that you shouldn't be taking 100% of it writing advice from people. Like you shouldn't. Do you see what I'm saying? So I agree with Brian there. So whether it's fucking Hemingway, whether it's Vonnegut, whether it's fucking Kafka, whether it's uh what's that fucking Neil Gaiman, uh Brandon Sanderson, Stephen King, whatever. Not all of that shit is going to work for everyone. I hope that makes sense. I feel like I kind of went all over the place there. Um, don't take my life purpose away. I won't. I will let you be the perv that you are. I like to listen on writing advice just to get inspiration, not necessarily for the advice itself. Totally. I'm that person that needs to hear things. So, like right there, just like those last two comments were like kind of different. Like people coming in for stuff for different reasons, just like not all the advice that's out there is going to fit everyone. Like there is no true fit. There is no absolute when it comes to art. And like, it's like the thing I've been saying forever. Okay. So Brian says, um, he's talking about my view on Hemingway. Okay. And this is where I feel like, um, I don't think I explained myself properly. Okay. I have not read a ton of Hemingway. Okay. I've read some Hemingway. I liked The Sun Also Rises for the most part. The reasons why I didn't like it very much, I think, has more to do with the fact of how many people who told me I would love that book. And then I just didn't really love that book. It was just okay. I wanted to love it. I was actually hoping that in Hemingway I would find like a sage. Like I would find, because like I hear about like men especially, they read Hemingway and feel like this kinship and this bond and this like mystical fucking bullshit. Okay. And I didn't have that at all with Hemingway. And I felt really let down. I almost felt rejected by Hemingway by how little I thought of The Sun Also Rises. Does that make sense? Um, but yeah, I didn't have that enlightenment that so many other men I know have had in reading Hemingway. I haven't even had the enlightenment that a woman I know had after reading Old Man in the Sea. Okay. So that's a whole other fucking thing. But there is something to be said about how much of a bullshit artist I think Hemingway is. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. If you don't think he's a bullshit artist, that's fine because nothing changes between any of us, however we are, if we think that or not. Okay. So that's fine. The other thing about this is um, talking about modernist writing and how Brian was like saying that Hemingway was a modernist. He specifically tried to do this with his writing. And I understand the whole Lost Generation um, group of those people trying to like rework how things have been done. Um, yeah. See, I didn't read Hemingway in high school. I was an adult when I started reading Hemingway. That's weird. Maybe I should have in high school, or maybe I shouldn't have. I don't know. I don't think I have ever read Hemingway. I personally think, and I mean, I don't know how to say this. I do think his short stuff is better than the long stuff of his that I've read, but I don't know. Like, I haven't read all of his novels, so I can't say. I've read The Sun Also Rises. I've read Movable Feast. Um, are those the only two books? No, because I read Old Man and the Sea. So there you go. All right. Okay, so the modernist writing. I need to look into this more and see how I feel about this even, because the other people who came out of that doing that same thing, I also don't think much of. So that could be uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Like it could be a bias of mine. Um, but I would have to really like do some soul searching to see if that's legit. So I'll maybe do that this week and kind of really think about it and see if that's how I'm feeling. Um, but the other thing that Brian took to task, I guess is how you would say it, was me having a problem with the line, you just have to find one true sentence. And then, um, like, you could write your book. And my whole thing was on my video was that, like, that's an absolute. How do you know what a true sentence is? And to me, I thought it was Hemingway trying to, like, not lie to himself about something. But Brian said, what I think Hemingway means is how he starts it off. Okay. So he said what I think Hemingway means, and I said what I think Hemingway means, which means there is no truth in this sentence if both of us have to guess what it means. Again, this goes back to this being bullshit. It doesn't matter. Like, there is no one true sentence. I mean, you could just write any fucking sentence. And it is, if it has a capital at the beginning and a period at the end, that's a fucking true sentence. And it has more than 3 words in it, probably. Maybe a subject and a predicate, you know? Like, sorted. That is one true sentence. Now you just have to write another one. And once you do that a million times, you'll have a book, you know? Um, but this idea that, and again, this is me thinking Hemingway's a piece of shit. So I don't know. Because to me, Hemingway saying this is him saying this in the sense of he thinks that he is better than like almost everybody, that he puts himself up on this pedestal, you know? And like, yes, he has writer's block like everyone does, but all he has to do is find that true sentence. And that's something that he could find. Can you find it? I don't know. But when Hemingway says you got to find the true sentence, what that does is tell everybody else, because this is a total narcissistic behavior. Him saying that tells anyone who hears him say that, like, oh, you need to second guess your fucking sentences. You need to second guess if there's truth in this. And so what that does is keep the competition like second guessing themselves and checking themselves while he fucking walk slowly across the finish line. Now, do I think that's exactly what that is? Probably not. But again, I'm sitting here saying I think, which means it can't be a truth. This is like, and this is probably me just being like really stupid about the meanings of words. But when people say things like I think, that means they don't know. If they don't know, it can't be a truth. That's what I was getting at with that. So there's that. Now, going into the meat of what I was talking about, Brian was talking about how I said I don't know if I said it exactly like this, and if I did, I feel like I need to fix this. But that if you revise at all, you can't be an artist and you are only a craftsman at that point. If I said it exactly like that, I apologize. What I'm trying to get at is if you constantly don't think your work is good enough and you constantly have to go back over it, that is not being artistic. Being artistic is being fearless. Being artistic is just like knowing that it doesn't matter and you can do whatever you want because it's fucking art. When you start making revisions, a revision is you second guessing something. You're like, well, and then you do more stuff. You fix it. You're like, I don't like that. I'm gonna do. That's what a revision is. And if you keep doing that over and over and over and over again, I think what your original intention for that art was gets lost. Little parts of that get chipped away and like erased. Okay. Until, yes, you have something that is pleasing to look at, but there's no soul in it. Like you butchered the soul out of it. How many people do you know who are great writers who have done absolutely nothing? Like you've read stuff that they've written and you're like, God, that is like a beautiful sentence. Why is this person not fucking like read everywhere? Because like what is it? Perfection is the enemy of getting done or something like that. Some fucking saying like that. The more you go in on something, the less of you is in that thing. Okay. So for me, people who revise a lot are also people who have a lot to hide and like don't want people to know too much about them. Don't want and they don't want people to know like about them, I guess. And so revising is a way for them to take something that was done, change it, change it, change it, change it so people can't see the faults. Do you see what I'm saying? So if we look at this in like a psychological way, you could tell a lot about a person by how they treat their work. Okay. And like you could say with me, like I'm super reckless and like kind of dangerous to myself. Probably. That's probably very spot on because I just fucking do whatever the fuck I want. And I don't care, you know? But that's how it is. That's how I do it. Um, so revision doesn't make someone an artist, it makes them a craftsman, but it doesn't make you an artist. So here is the thing: revising your work over and over again does make you a craftsman because you are looking at something and judging it based off of craft, trying to make it the best it could possibly be. That is craft. You have to know how sentence structure works. You have to know how to tell a story. You have to know all these things in order to put something together in a pleasing way. Now, that does make you a craftsman and it does not make you an artist. Okay. But here's the thing: can a craftsman create art? Of course they can. Of course they can. Because there will be times, even Hemingway, when you write something and you know the second you write it, it's perfect that first time. Even though you are a craftsman and you fucking revise the shit out of everything, when you see that line that doesn't need a fucking ounce of anything, that's pure fucking art right there. And you just did that. Okay. Now, what's another good example? I mean, we could just talk about anything like making chairs. I don't know why I keep thinking of making chairs. That's been like the big, like, oh yeah, like a chair maker. Okay, here's an example that is kind of different, but maybe kind of the same. Sears. Okay, what do they sell? They sell all sorts of stuff, but they also sell tools. What kind of tools do they sell at Sears? They might not anymore. I haven't been in a Sears in like a million years, but I'll tell you. They sell craftsman tools. Craftsman tools. Okay. Now, anyone can pick up a craftsman wrench and tighten a screw or tighten a bolt. Something's a little loose in the house. It's cool. Hang on. I got this craftsman set for Christmas. I'll take care of this. And you get that wrench out that you've never held in your hand before, but you have this wrench and you know that I could put this wrench on this bolt. And if I go like this, it'll tighten. Okay. Guess what happened? You did the right thing with the tool and you came up with the right thing at the end. With your craftsman tool, you fix the bolt. Okay. But you give those same tools to someone who could like build engines out of coconuts. And then suddenly some crazy ass monster truck just gets built. They're using the same fucking tools. But one person is a craftsman and one person is an artist. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see what the difference here is? I'm not trying to say that being a craftsman isn't good. I'm just saying just because you're a craftsman doesn't make what you make art. Now, here is the part where I have to punch myself in the face. Did I just gatekeep? A little bit, sort of. At the end of the day, does it matter? No, because anyone can do anything they want. But if you want my opinion, I will give it to you. Do you see what I'm saying? Whatever I say about art means absolute zero. It means jack shit. At the end of the day, whatever I say about what art is does not matter. And it is only true to me. It's only an absolute in my methodology with how I create. You guys could do whatever the fuck you want with art because art is subjective. So it doesn't matter what I say. This is the thing that makes all of this so stupid and pointless. Do you see what I'm saying? Like I could tell you all day long what my values in art are, what I think things are. I could even tell you if I think someone's not an artist. Does that make them not an artist? Absolutely not. They could be whatever the fuck they want to be. If somebody decided they were a fucking astronaut tomorrow and have never been anywhere higher than the second floor of a fucking building, I can't say they're not a fucking astronaut if they think they're a fucking astronaut. And at the end of the day, who fucking cares? Because nothing fucking matters. None of this is important. None of this matters. And that is the only thing that matters. Quoting the Buke right there. Let's see. Jeff says, if I took writing advice, I would probably quit writing after this stream. Yeah, like I've told this story a million times. There was this show I used to listen to called Writing Excuses that Brandon Sanderson hosted with a few other people. And they would talk about some fucking thing about writing. And then after I would listen, and the show would end with, okay, so that's been 20 minutes. Now go write. Okay. And then I would sit down to write, and I would constantly be worried about the shit that they just talked about on the fucking podcast. Instead of me just having that childlike wonder and just like fucking exploding with creativity, I was constantly going, oh shit, what if like what's a good example? What if I'm ending my sentences with a preposition? What if I'm using passive voice? Oh god, no, what am I gonna do? Who fucking cares? Again, if you're a good storyteller, if when you are telling a story, people sit around and look captivated at you as you're talking to them, you're fine. Write whatever fucking book you want. But if you're a shitty fucking storyteller and when you're talking to somebody and they're just like, oh my fucking God, oh shit, oh, you should probably not quit your day job. Because if you can't hold someone's attention by talking to them, you're sure as fuck not going to hold their attention with a book. Jesus fucking Christ. Do us all a favor. Just like notice how you talk to people, how you are with people. That's probably what you come off like in your writing. Is this a huge generalization? Of course, but it's something to think about. I'm always down for somebody to take better care of how they tell stories because so many people tell stories horribly, or they start with the end of a story. Like, did I tell you about the time when I got drunk and lit myself on fire? And you're like, no. And they're like, oh my God, let me tell you the story then. Like, there's better ways to find out if someone knows a story or not. So now I know the end of this story. This person got drunk and lit themselves on fire. And they're telling the story like I don't already know that. And they're like, oh my God. And then I did this. And then I went over here and I did this thing. And then I did this. And you know what happened? And I'm like, you got drunk and lit yourself on fire. No, I went and had a drink. And then I went and did this thing and I did that. And then guess what happened? I'm like, you got drunk and lit yourself on fire. And they're like, no, 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 no. And then like I had a cigarette and then and then like, and then I fucking got drunk and lit myself on fire. And you're like, oh my God. It's just like the most like nauseating way somebody fucking tells a story. So be conscious of this. I'm going to do a video about this, but I've been wanting to do it for a long time. And I'm going to spill the beans a little bit about it here. I think the best way to judge your work, okay, your writing, is to think about if someone were to say to you, hey, what's 10 things that your spouse would say about you? Think about what those 10 things are. Write those down. And I bet a lot of those things could also be attributed to your writing. Okay. Like the person who sleeps with you, who smells your shit, who like hears you fart, who like pops your back, like pops your back zits, who like has seen your beehole. Like that person probably knows you better than anybody on the planet and they know all your ugliness. I would ask them like what they think about you as a person and then maybe ask them after that, oh, and by the way, what do you think of my writing? And be specific. And see how that goes. But it's a theory I have that I'm kind of working on and I'm really wanting to like Jeff's like, oh God. He's so scared. Oh my God. So that's just something that I don't know. I think like we put way too much stock into like what we expect people to say about the art that we make or the words that we write. When if we just like took a huge step back and just asked like little simple questions, we would get more out of that as far as helpful, useful criticism. You know what I'm saying? And that's even if you want criticism. Like I feel like a guy like Hemingway like thrived on criticism not because he wanted to, but because he expected that there would be criticism. And it crippled him. And like again, like Bookish didn't even talk about this, but his like alcoholism, and I do it in air quotes because I feel like he became an alcoholic because of the crushing worry that his work was not living up to snuff as he got older. And it got worse and worse and worse and worse until he performed fellatio on a Smith and Wesson. You guys see what I'm saying? Before he like put blood orange in his OJ, you know? But anyway, so I'm getting way off the topic here. Um, let me see, what's this note here? I'm not saying you have to do anything. Oh yeah, we already talked about that. Oh yeah, you'll get way more done if you stop listening to me and everybody else and just write. Like every time you want to sit down and listen to a podcast about writing or watch a video about writing, just sit down and fucking write something. Or here, let me riddle you this, Batman. I'm going to give you a challenge. Every time you sit down to watch a video on writing, I want you to then write a poem, flash fiction, something about the video you just watched without talking about the video you just watched. So, however you interpreted what I just said, make that happen. If you can't do that, you don't deserve to be watching videos. Boom! Truth bomb. How do you like that? That probably hurt a little bit. I apologize. I was probably a little too harsh. You know what I'm saying? So there was another thing that Brian said in his video. And again, Brian's video is full of amazing, like awesome shit. Like there's nothing in his video that I was like, ooh, no, no, don't do that. No. So like Brian's videos like spot on and perfect. It's fine. Um, but he was talking about painting. He brought this up. And in the comments, I saw that he said he wanted to talk a little bit about poetry and didn't. So I'm really curious, Brian, if you end up watching this or if anything, to like maybe even make that video about you talking about poetry. That would be really, really cool. I'd appreciate that. Um, so the thing about the painting, he talked about Jackson Pollock and talked about Klein and talked about Michelangelo's sculptures. And for somebody who writes fiction, writes poetry, and paints, here's what I could tell you about um, revising a painting. Okay. There are times when I paint something and I'm painting and I'm painting and I'm painting and then I'm done and I never touch it again. Okay. Like this guy here. Like I did this one on stream, if you guys remember. Like I just put some stuff on here and I went burp, 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 and then I'm like, I'm done. That's it. I'm done. Okay. And then there's been other times when like do I have an example? Here you go. That was my guitar. When like this guy here, I have done things to this over and over and over again. And I still don't think it's done. Okay. Now, Brian made it out like if you paint something and then paint more on it and then paint more on it, that's you revising. Whereas I look at it as just chapters in a book. Like you write a book that's 10 chapters, but you really wanted it to be 20. And you're like, oh, this just doesn't feel right. I got to keep going. I got to keep adding stuff to it. I got to keep adding stuff to it. I got to keep adding stuff to it. You keep adding chapters until the story's finished. And that's how I look at paintings. I don't look at it as like, oh, here's the painting. Now I got to erase this and revise it and do something different. Because every time you add something on top of something, like you're adding that, but you're getting the vibrance through it to be able to have the color have that same pop. The pop will always be different. Now, some of you will say, well, every time you like revise that sentence, like you're taking something out and adding something to it to make it a different sentence. And like whatever you do sculpts that sentence. If that's what you want to look at it as, fine. I don't think that's how that is, but if that's what you want to do, fine. But as far as like the painting for me goes, like I paint until the book's done. And once the book is done, I put it on the shelf and I move on and I start reading another book. You know what I'm saying? So that is the difference there for me as far as how just referring to Pollock and Klein. But there is that story about Michelangelo that I fucking love, and I've shared it before, and I probably will share it 1,500 other fucking times. Where I think it was about the David statue. He did it, and one of his patrons comes up and is looking at it, and he's like, the nose is too big. The nose is too big. You got to fix that nose. And Michelangelo's like, what the fuck? So he takes a handful of like powder from the marble that he's been chiseling, and he climbs up the ladder, and he tells the guy to hold the ladder so he can't see exactly what he's doing. And he goes up there and he's like starts hitting the chisel with the hammer, and then like drops a little bit of the powder down so the guy can see the powder as it drops. And then he comes down the ladder and he's like, how does it look now? And the guy looks up and he's like, it's perfect. Because the patron wanted to be a part of this. He wanted to have some say in it. Okay. So, and a lot of times if you just like tell somebody that it's been revised, it'll work. And you'll end up hearing this from a lot of writers too, where like you submit a story somewhere, or you submit a poem somewhere, and they write you back and go, you know what, maybe if you change this and change that, we'll take it. And then you go, oh, okay. And then you send the exact same thing back, and then they read it and they go, we'll take it. Like Lovecraft used to do this, like back in the day with like weird tales. Like they were always saying like, this is a bit like purple, can you change this and that? Oh, of course, here you go. And then send the same thing back, and then solid, they take it. Okay. Editors are still that silly in the head that they do that kind of shit. Um, and then this is like a whole different and kind of filthy story. But when I used to bartend, I can't believe we're gonna fucking tell this story. Okay, Nikki, if you're still here, this is what you're here for. This is why you're here. This is me talking about shit that I shouldn't talk about. Okay, so when I used to bartend, there were certain girls at the bar who like were there because they got drinks when doing things to men at the bar. Now, me as a shitty bartender, a lot of times those types of girls, I would give them free drinks when they were at the bar, because if they were there, that meant guys would be there buying drinks for themselves and for the ladies who they think they're going to get a little of that in the back room or in the bathroom, or in the alley behind the bar. So I would always make sure that those women, my girls always had drinks. Okay. And that there were always dudes there to buy them drinks if I wasn't the one giving them drinks. Okay. But they would come back. Okay. And um, they would want to drink right when they came back, because now they were tired. You know what I'm saying? So I would give them their drink when they would pull up. They would sit up at the bar, and I would like see them coming. I would already have I'd be making the drink already, I'd give it to them. They would take a sip of it. And it wouldn't always be this exact line, but something like this, or just their face. They would say something like, ugh, tastes like dick, or something like that. Like, ugh, that's nasty. Like, fix this. This isn't very good. And then I would just take the drink and then go under the bar, stir it a little bit, and hand it to them. And then they would take a drink, go, oh, that's better. The reason is it tasted like dick because they just had a bunch of dick in their mouth and with a bunch of that, you know what I'm saying? So that first sip was just like rinsing out all of that in their mouth. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of times you don't have to do anything to make people think that you revised something, is what I'm getting at. Do you guys see what I'm saying? That was a long way around the hill. Oh my gosh. That's like the whole joke between a greyhound and a salty dog. Look it up, guys. Anyway, so yeah, so that is the other little tidbit of advice there. Or I don't even know if you could call that advice. I just lost like 4 viewers. So, what do you guys think? Is that everything I wanted to say about this topic? Probably. So, at the end of the day, can a craftsman create art? Yes. Can an artist be a craftsman? Of course. Is everything an artist makes like true to craft? No. Is everything a craftsman make, is it art? No. Okay. But can they each make the thing that the other one does? Of course they can. And at the end of the day, what the fuck does it matter what I have to say anyway? Who fucking cares? Okay. There's an anecdote in Vasari's Lives of the Artists where an artist doing a commission basically did that and the client ended up liking it the second time. Well, it's like the whole thing. The fucking what is the Basquiat story? Like this woman comes into the basement of that gallery owner's place where Basquiat was making all these paintings. And she liked this one painting, but it was basically the only painting that hadn't been bought yet. So it was the only one there was. And she didn't like it because it was too green. She didn't like the green in it. She didn't want there to be green. And so she kept saying, I like it, but I don't like the green. And the husband's like, can you make this, but without the green? Or can you cover up the green with a different color, maybe a plum or something like that? Okay. And they're going back and forth. And then Basquiat ended up picking up the bucket of green paint. And then I think he went up and just like threw the bucket against the painting and like ruined the painting. And as soon as it did that, the guy's like, oh, we'll take it. Even though he just like threw a bunch of fucking green paint all over it. Okay. So basically, if we've learned anything, it's that consumers are fucking idiots. But yeah. So I think that's how the Basquiat story goes. But that's also why the obnoxious liberals painting was made, and why he made the centerpiece of that painting the not for sale thing. I don't, is that in this book? I don't know if it's in this one. Ah, I'm stepping on all sorts of shit, guys. Let me see if that painting's in here. I don't know if it is. I know it's in the other book, but I just haven't opened that book yet. And I don't want to until I do the stream. Oh, I love that painting so much. My God. So fucking good, dude. And there's even something to be said about when I feel like he kind of gave up because he just knew people would buy anything he took anyway. They couldn't handle the juice. Oh my gosh. Nikki, have you heard the song that I just heard the other night for the first time? When I did a members live stream from a gay bar in WeHo in West Hollywood the other night, and it was epic. It was so much fun. Join the members if you want to see stuff like that. But there's this song I heard, and it's like one of my favorite songs now, and I've listened to it a million times, but it's called Boys at the Club. No, Boys in the Club. Boys with a Z, N, da, Club. And it goes, I spill my juice for the boys in the club, boys in the club, boys in the club. I spill my juice for the boys in the club, boys in the club, boys in the club. Got a lot of juice, so you better bring a cup, better bring a cup, better bring a cup. I spill my juice for the boys in the crab. Yeah, super good song. I don't think that painting's in here, and I'm actually really pissed off. This book sucks. It's an okay book, but like Jesus Christ, man. This book, like for me, like my favorite paintings from here are never in here. Oh wait, did I take pictures of it yesterday? I might have taken a picture of it. Spill my juice for the boys in the club, boys in the club, boys in the club. I spill my juice for the boys in the club, boys in the club, boys in the club. I didn't take a picture of it. I took a picture of a bunch of other of his pieces. Anyway, just look up obnoxious liberals, but the center person in the obnoxious liberals painting says not for sale. And it's like a little guy wearing a sign that says not for sale. And then the fucking broad had fucking not for sale jewelry made that fucking sold out within a week, like earrings and necklaces that said not for sale. It's just like, it's like, what do you call it? Like, you guys are probably all smarter than me on this. What do you call it when the irony is so thick that the people who are like perpetrating the ironic evil know that they're doing that, and that is part of the art of the commercialism? What the fuck is that called? And everyone who is now buying that thing is almost in on the joke, and everyone's okay with it. What is this called? I don't understand. It like it makes very little sense to me. And it's like one of these things where postmodernism. Okay, okay, okay. But it's like I would be fine with it if it wasn't commercialized. But how the fuck is postmodernism commercialized? I don't get it. It like, ugh, I should go back because the thing is, I made that whole video talking about that piece and all that stuff, and I lost the video. Um, but man, it was so good. I really liked that video. I went hard at the Broad, so maybe that's why it disappeared. Like my future self broke my computer personally, so I wouldn't do it. Or past self, I don't fucking know. You guys know what I'm saying. I think, I hope. I spill my juice for the boys at the club. And Jeff, you did find that song for me, the Miami song. Um, and that song's great. And I've been listening to that a ton. And since I've been listening to that song, not at a bar, I was able to hear the words more. And it's actually not that great. But it's like uh something something, we're the bourgeoisie, um doing drugs in a penthouse, blah blah blah. It's a great song though. I love it. I can't, like, I've been listening to it so much. In art uni, we always talked about how counterculture always gets co-opted and commercialized because rich people always want to copy what the hip bohemian types think is cool. Dude, totally. And not even just the bohemian types, but like it's just like one of the reasons why I haven't been back to Mocha, because they had that huge exhibit about like how to speak jive and what like hip hop is and how to listen to it. And it felt so disgusting because and maybe it was like the people who were there consuming it, but like I don't know, and maybe I'm just being really judgy, but none of it felt like it was being consumed as like, oh wow, like this whole group of people were so marginalized that they ended up having their own culture away from everybody else because of how we made them feel. But instead, it's like, ooh, jive. I remember that from Airplane. The Beaver Cleaver mama said it. I remember this. Let's talk about it at our next cocktail party. You know what I'm saying? It like the feel was so different. And I just like, and at the same time, like, I don't knock the marginalized groups for selling their works to museums to have their stuff like consumed by um, the rich. I don't fucking blame them at all. Fucking take whatever you can get and run while you still can, you know? But it's like I don't want to fucking be a part of it, you know? And like how much of it is actual counterculture and how much of it is just like Basquiat makes a painting making fun of people trying to tell him how to make his art. He makes it anyway. They buy it anyway. And then they make fucking gold earrings off of the art that he made that says you cannot buy this. This is not for sale to you. It's like, wow. Like it is so thick. It just like, I don't know. Like that yeah, I'm done. Postmodernism. Good fucking God, dude. Oh, spill my juice for the boys in the club. Boys in the club. Boys in the club. Pass me my juice for the boys in the club. Boys in the club. Boys in the club. So got a lot of juice, so you better bring a cup. Better bring a cup. Better bring a cup. Pass me my juice for the boys in the club. Boys in the club. Boop, boop, boop. I can't remember who does it. I think it's called. I think they're called Shermanology or something like that. I don't know. It's really catchy. It's catchy as fuck. I would play it right now, but YouTube will strike me down with the wrath of 1,000 gods as they do. Because that video that was a members only video that was not being monetized, I got told I was not allowed to do that. But I also found out that that song Miami, I could share the rights to or share the monies earned. That's kind of nice. That's why I kind of get artists who try to make fun of that just by selling the shittiest art to people with more money than sense. I think it was Duchamp who sold cans of his own shit. It wasn't Duchamp. I just saw a video about that. Um, oh my God, I just watched a video about this. But yeah, I can't remember how many cans. It was like 200 cans or something like that of his own shit. And I can't remember the weight of the cans either, but he sold it for the going rate of gold. So whatever the going rate was for gold per ounce is what he sold the cans that said artist shit on it. And his whole thing was like, the artist shit is worth its weight in gold. And it's like the joke, you know? But yeah. Oh, I'm trying to remember what else is on that video. It was like the most controversial art pieces in history. And a lot of it was um not conceptual art, but like performance art. Like there was this one artist who was under the floor with a microphone, like laying down. And as people walked on the floor, the sounds of it would make him do this and finish. And he would narrate everything that was happening while he was doing that. And you were walking on the floor above him. And he would do this for 8 hours a day for 3 weeks straight. It's insane. There was another woman who pulled a string of like pulled stuff out of her V, and it was like this list of things, and she read it off as she was pulling it out of herself. That was Vito Aconsi. He was a professor at my art university. No way. how did he teach that class? Like how to jerk off for 8 hours a day? That's like that dude probably had calluses like the size of Volkswagens. Good lord. I keep thinking I need to go to art school just to go. This is stupid. I want to go to art school so I can meet people who I need to meet, but I also feel like I don't need to do that. But there's a part of me that goes, I should do that though. Or I should just go to galleries and hang out. Vito also bit himself and others and tattooed the bite marks. Wacky man. Totally, that sounds bizarre. I also saw this thing about this guy who was tattooing live pigs to save the pigs from becoming food because they would sell for a lot of money as works of art. And I don't know if this is actually how, like, this is just what I got from it. And then after the pig actually dies of old age or whatever, they skin it and keep the tattooed skin. But then this guy like bought this like ranch in China, and so he tattoos all the pigs so they could like live and not be eaten. I don't know. Pig art. Spill my juice for the boys in the club. Boys in the club. Boys in the club. Anyway, so that's all fun and interesting stuff. Do you guys have any other questions about anything that we've talked about today? Oh my God. What am I doing? He bit himself and tattooed the bite marks, and then bit other people and tattooed those bite marks on them. Or did he have other people bite him? Maybe he had to bite other people. Um, oh, here's something we can talk about. At least us two can talk about this. If everybody else wants to jump in here, um, please. Uh, so my kid likes Jeff Koons, and I don't know how to come to terms with this. I don't know how to handle this. No, he was the biter. The book I got on my art university called The Last Art College talks about it. Okay. Did he write that, or was he just like a subject in it? Okay, so like my kid isn't like I like Jeff Koons, but my kid likes the balloon dog. Okay, and at the Broad, the blue balloon dog is on display, and she loved it, took her picture in front of it, took her boyfriend's picture in front of it, um, got the big hologram sticker of the big blue balloon dog, and really dug it. And then also really dug the white Michael Jackson with the monkey on his lap. Oh, the Popeye one? Oh wait, but he did multiple things. Going to have to go here to get some sleep. Okay, take care, Nikki. Thank you so much for hanging out. Um, but yeah, like it's like I like what Andy Warhol did, but I don't know if I like what Andy Warhol did because I see Andy Warhol as someone from the 90s looking back at what he did in the 60s and 70s. You know what I'm saying? Whereas like Jeff Koons and Damien Hirst, and even that like what's his name? The Murakami guy, the flower guy. The flower guy seems like he has more heart than Jeff Koons and Damien Hirst. Jeff Koons seems like he could very easily be a cult leader, and Damien Hirst seems more like a crazy Machiavellian rich person. Um, but like, even though Damien Hirst and Jeff Koons are just doing what Warhol did, why does it feel so different how they do it? Like, why does it feel like dirty and gross how they do it and Warhol doesn't? And do I only feel like this because I was not alive during the rise of Warhol? Like, do I think Coons is a joke and Hearst is a joke because I grew up through it? Like, what is it? Like, do you have an answer for this? Coons is a clown. I like Jeff Koons so much more before I heard him speak and saw his face as he talks. Like now I'm like terrified of this dude. I'm like, "Oh my god, you're going to murder me in my sleep probably with a smile on your face." Oh. But the Murakami guy, he like he has a ton of people doing his shit too. But like it seems more, how do I say it? It seems more like if it wasn't fine art and he was just building a brand like Tokidoki or something like that, that he would still do that anyway. And if the museums wanted to buy his shit, it would be like, fine, here you go. You can have some stuff. I'm still going to do this with all these people regardless. And we're going to enjoy ourselves and have a good time. Whereas I feel like if Damien Hirst and Jeff Koons weren't considered fine art, they wouldn't do it anymore because like their brand is the rich folk and their brand is selling them that art and then like licensing it out afterwards. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like that's what the difference is. Um, I hate Damien Hirst, but I'm not huge on Warhol either, to be honest. Hirst is obnoxious because he does all the sell things at obscene prices that he didn't even make. That's like his whole gimmick. Yeah, dude, it's fucking weird. Jeff says he keeps getting sued for copyright infringement for using other people's art in his art, and then sued a bookstore for making bookends that were similar to balloon dogs. What a clown! Oh my god, he sued a bookstore. Wow. I know that he's been sued for copyright a bunch and that Damien Hirst has been sued for copyright a bunch. And I think Damien Hirst lost those cases, right? Like he had to pay those people. Like the, what do you call it? The sculpture of the thing that looked like the toy. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I've never heard of Hearst. Hearst is the guy who did the dots that he stole from another artist. He did the shark and formaldehyde. Um, Coons has mostly lost his cases too. That's so weird. Like hiring people a few bucks an hour to paint colored dots on a page, then turning around and selling those pages for millions each is just nasty cynicism to me. Yeah, and again, how he's doing it, he's like, the irony is that you paid for it. So who's really the bad guy here? He's such a toxic boyfriend. It's like, this is really your fault. You know that, right? I'm just like, can you really blame me for like doing what human nature wants me to do? This is really your fault if you think about it. Oh my god, what a piece of shit. Oh my god. Oh, and I can't remember what his Diamond Skull is called. And then there was another thing where he like cut a cow and a calf up in segmented parts or something like that. I don't fucking know. Like, whatever. Jackson Pollock is the shit. These artists you're talking about seem more like rich fakers to me. The Diamond Skull is For the Love of God, sold for 100 million. Oh my fucking God. To be fair, like how much money was that skull? Like that skull cost a shit ton to make, first off. So whether or not like you're buying it because it's a piece of art that's allegedly by Damien Hirst, which it obviously isn't. Um, it's fucking got titanium and diamonds in it. And like, so yeah, it's fine. The cow calf thing is actually kind of cool, but I just hate her, so I could live without it. Oh my god. Yeah, Jackson Pollock to me is I love, but what I will say about Jackson Pollock, I don't love everything he did. Like there was a long period where I think his work was really just kind of bad and kind of like really just like wanting to be Picasso and shit like that. And then he hit his stride with his like gestural shit. And I love that stuff. But then I heard something and saw this thing, and I can't remember the woman's name, but allegedly, right before the Time piece or the Life magazine piece came out, which made Jackson Pollock into a fucking household name, he went and saw this woman's exhibit who did this drip paint style that was like no one had ever heard of before. And she had some pieces there or whatever. He saw these, and then within like 3 months or something was doing these fucking crazy drip paintings and was getting all this attention and never mentioned this woman. And if that's really legit and true, that really sucks. And I feel really bad about that. You guys would probably know the name of the woman. I don't remember the name of the woman. Just like I can't remember the name of the guy who was doing the dots like 20 years before Hearst. I can't remember that one either, or 10 years before Hearst was doing it. Hearst seems like a Maplethorpe wannabe. Who's Maplethorpe? Should I know who that is? No, no, no. Don't change your like that's why I feel weird about it too. I can't I gotta find out who it is. If I find out who it is, Jeff, I'll talk to you about it and all that other shit. But like I fucking love Jackson Pollock. And then the thing that's awesome, the thing that I don't know if Brian realizes he did this in his video, but in his video, the Pollock that he showed um, on screen when he brought up Pollock is my favorite Pollock. It's the Blue Poles one that's in Australia right now. Um, that one is like, I don't know why, but that was the first Pollock painting I saw a picture of where I was like, oh my God, who the fuck is this? And I had to learn his name because that painting fucking like blew me the fuck away. And I have no idea why. It's so weird how you look at certain paintings that aren't of anything and they knock you out. And there's two other ones by these there are two different women. They are Korean painters, and they aren't of anything. And I can't get them out of my head. Like, and I can't remember their names. I just have the images, the links to the images saved in my phone, so I'll find them. But yeah, I just think they're absolutely gorgeous. Here, I'll Google it right now. Who did Jackson Pollock rip off? Let's see if it comes up. Who did Jackson Pollock rip his paintings from? Ooh, okay, let's see. Um, Jackson Pollock was influenced by, okay, that's not what I was referring to. Um, no. Okay, let me put this in. The woman who did drip paintings before Jackson Pollock. Boom. Let's see. Janet Sobel. Is that correct? Janet Sobel, artist before Jackson Pollock. What was stolen from Janet Sobel? Yeah. Okay. So Janet Sobel, a Ukrainian woman, before Pollock saw her work. Okay. Yeah. There's all sorts of articles about this. So this might be pretty legit. Although I don't think they're as good as Jackson Pollock's, like just looking at them. See, here is where I'm going to talk about like um Andres Serrano, not Maplethorpe. They're both photographers, but very artsy. Okay. Okay. Let me actually look that guy up. Um, oh, he's the guy that did the Piss Christ, right? Yeah. And he did pictures of corpses and the KKK and stuff like that. Do you not like that guy? Trying to Piss Christ, which reminded me of how you were describing her. So yeah. Okay, let me see who Maplethorpe is because I don't know who Maple. I need to remember people's names. Like I know a lot of stuff, but I never remember people's names. And so when I talk about them, it sounds like I'm like, the guy that did the thing or the lady who Maplethorpe Robert Maplethorpe. Let's see if this is him. Who is the guy? Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw that dirty pictures thing too. Okay. Yeah. Um, who is oh, I already forgot what I was gonna fucking ask you guys. Prepare for nudity. Oh shit. What was I gonna ask you guys? Who is the who is the painter who constantly paints self-portraits of himself painting in a really bizarre world. So like it's like a completely like speculative fiction world, but then he'll be in the center of the piece like painting that picture, but he'll be like looking at the camera almost. So you can't see what he's painting, but like you think that he's painting this thing behind him, but he's like dressed in modern shit. But like a bunch of his paintings are just of him making paintings. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I can't remember that guy's fucking name, and I was just wanting to talk about him. Oh, anyway. Oh, let me see if I can find it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. Um, no, not him. Okay, let me see. I have to make this a better question. It is not Lou Bolin. Okay. Come on, Google. Nope. No, 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 no. Oh, I do love that, dude. That Rene Magritte guy. He's awesome. Um, that guy has a penis for a nose. Yeah, I can't find it. So not that big of a deal. We will we will bring that back. MC Escher. No, but very good though. And I do like that um Escher picture where he's holding the ball and like dude, so good. Anyway. Okay. What do you guys have at the Boston one? At the Broad there? Like what's the pieces that are always on display there that people always come to see? Because I really want to go to the Still Museum in Denver, the Clifford Still Museum. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that dude. Um, but like I didn't realize that all of his works were in one place for the most part. So I really, really want to go and check that out. And then there is also that Rothko temple thing that I really want to go to and check that out. So those are going to be two trips I make next year. I only went for the Banksy exhibit. How was that? Like, what pieces were there? Was that cool? Like, I think Banksy's like everyone does. Like one of the only true artists in the world right now. Oh my god. But it's legit, dude. Oh, like the oh my god. The what do you call it? That stunt he did with the girl in the balloon when it sold at auction and it went into the shredder as soon as the gavel came down. I can't even imagine anything more like just amazing. Like fucking hell, dude. Brilliant. Oh, it was stupid because it was mostly sketches. That fucking sucks. It became more valuable after the shredder. That's so fucking hysterical, dude. Oh, so good. That's so good. That is so good. Oh my gosh. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna have to also put on this video. Oh my god, that was the most rebel art thing to happen in our lifetime, for sure. That was like somebody painting an ankle in the 1500s. Am I right? Oh my god. Oh, no, if I was the art assessor, I'd revalue it at like $1 out of sheer spite to the buyers. Perceived value, guys. I'm telling you, all you got to do is tell somebody something is worth a ridiculous amount of money, and eventually someone will buy it if you're a good salesman, and then everything else will be at least that much. It's very weird how these things happen. Oh, speaking of selling art, hey guys, pick up my chapbooks before they're gone. Coldest beer in the desert. There's only one of these left. This is it. This is the only one. It's right here in my hot little hand. If you want it, you got to let me know. I hate mattwall@gmail.com. I should just make a goddamn shop. Since Etsy's fucking charging me is still, that's a whole other fucking thing. Off the grid. I only have 2 copies of these left. This one here and this one here. This is it. There are only 26 of these made. Each one has an individual cover that is different than all the other ones. Preview of A Dangerous Mind. The most amazing, ridiculously weird short stories you'll ever read in the history of forever. Okay? There's 31 copies of these made. I have some left. Get them now while you can. After December, they're gone. They will be put into the vault. Okay? After this year, you cannot get these anymore. In 2025, you will not be able to get these. If I ever bring them out again, they will be more than they are right now, because that's how things work. They cost more each time you have to try to sell them for whatever reason. I don't know. But maybe I will revalue it at like $1 out of sheer spite to you people, because he said so. Okay. So I'll do that. I'm also selling my paintings. If there's ever a painting of mine that you like, let me know. And if any of you would like to do some kind of online gallery night, because I know some of you are artists, hint, hint, hint. I was thinking about doing one of those things. Like, I don't know if you're familiar with like the square foot show, something kind of along those lines. I think that would be a lot of fun. And I've talked to a couple people about it. So if that's something that any of y'all would like to do, let's chat about it and figure out the best way to do it. I'm going to try to make, that's kind of like what these things were for. So I don't know. I'm going to do that. Oh, I was going to ask you, what is your opinion on putting a finish on artwork once you're done with it? I've never done it. I never thought I needed to do it. But I've been hearing people talking about like different lacquers you should be putting on shit. Like it's something you have to do or you're like supposed to do. But like a lot of the stuff I look at, I don't think they are finished. I don't think there's a finish on them. Like I can't tell that there's a finish on them. And maybe that's just because it's a really good finish and I can't tell. But let me know. What do you think? Is it just to make something look shiny? Is that it? Is that the only reason why people finish stuff? Or are they really worried that like someone's going to throw water on it and then you won't be able to see what it is? I'll text you a picture of one of my paintings. Like you have some cool shit. Like I remember you used to have this big ass painting behind you when you would do live streams that I thought was fucking awesome. So what do you think? Tell me, guys. Tell me. I think most paintings use a finish, right? I don't fix my charcoal drawings, but it has a lot of drawbacks. So no, it's to set the paintings in place and make them archival. So you think I should be doing that, is what you're saying? Because everyone I talk to says I should be doing it. I had one person tell me I shouldn't do it. And so now because someone said something different, I'm confused, which is par for the course for me. Like, honestly, I get confused a lot. Yo, Jimmy, what's up, man? How you doing? Yes, I do. I meant that not. Oh, wait. I meant that not finishing your work has drawbacks. Okay. So, what should I use for that? I've been wanting to put a finish on it because it has leaves stuck to it that I don't want to crumble. Ooh. Yeah, how would you do that? That would almost be like, oh, how would you make that not crumble? My God. Not so much, dude. Just got done helping at Santa's workshop. Like legit? You were like working it like a Santa thing, or you're just being funny helping people put stuff together? Because either way is fine. Covered in Ichiban, it uses only the most flavorful portion of the finest ingredients. Ooh, that's nice of them to do. Do we have an alcohol number? Yes, I think that says 5%. That's pretty shit. Poly spray, spray finish, or painted finish? Maybe I should just start looking up videos on finishes. Krylon makes reasonably priced fixes and finishes for art of different kinds in a spray can. Hmm, that's probably pretty good. I think I used that when I was in college. I remember having to do that on some of the stuff I did in my art classes. There are finishes you paint on as well. Yeah. Hmm. And you can't finish oil for like 6 months, right? Is that correct? Is that how that works? Hmm. So does that mean you can't sell an oil painting until 6 months after you did it so you could put the thing on it? Or do you sell it already like not finished and then go, hey, by the way, in a few months I'm going to come and finish that? I'm going to look for that spray finish. Yeah, yeah, yeah. For real. That would probably work. Because, like, when you started talking about that, I'm like, oh, are you going to have to, like, resin that? How would you even do that? I wouldn't even know how to do that. So, a spray can makes sense. When I was younger, and my kid does this too, when we would do like lead drawings and shit, and I think even the pastel, like the chalky pastel shit I did in college, I just used spray paint, or not spray paint, hairspray. I would like hairspray like Aquanet over the top of my shit. Does that do the same thing? Because it made it not smudge. Oh no, I think it's getting moldy. Yeah, fix that as quickly as possible. I should just type out all these questions that I have and just start Google searching these, or like YouTube searching them. Maybe I'll do that today. I feel like I have a lot of things I have to do today. And I'm still just like having fun chatting with y'all. Boom, boom, boom. I use spray glue to stick it onto the canvas. I hear hairspray is good if you're rushing to make a deadline in art university. Okay, okay. All right, okay. I see you. I see you. All right. Nice. Yeah, I made a video of this, but I obviously haven't made it or edited it yet. But I went to Goodwill and spent like 60 bucks on a bunch of paintings and frames. So I'm going to do that. Like here, I'll show you this one. I got this one for like $10. So it's this beautiful painting of the ocean, and this frame that's actually chipped right there. That sucks, but it's a frame, so I like it, and I'm going to paint on it and use the frame. But yeah, so a ton of stuff like this, and I spent like $60, but I got probably, I don't know, like 15 or 20 canvases. So I have no idea how to stretch canvas. I assume it's just like you pull and you staple, but I actually don't know. Oh no. I don't think that will prevent those leaves from crumbling. Then I guess we're going back to resin, dude. Ask Damien Hirst how to do it, because like his shit still decays and it's in formaldehyde and shit. And don't you have to like do something to the canvas, like put some shit on it to where you could paint on it? Like to where like the paint won't just like run through it and just spread and get gross. And then you have to like let it sit for a while, right? Like you have to treat the canvas and then it has to take some time to dry or some shit. That's why that just sounds like a nightmare for me. It's like the worst thing in the world. Gesso or gesso, right? Leaves, I don't know. Have to be something pretty thick. You'd have to experiment. Oof. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And how long does that have to sit on that? I don't know why I'm asking. It's not like I'm gonna go run off and do this thing. Just interesting. I'm like, ooh, information. Yeah, this painting is actually kind of cool. I don't hate it, but I'm probably gonna paint over it. I'm afraid of ruining it, but time will do that anyway. Yeah, for real. I like black because the Batman animated series used it for the first seasons. Oh, dude, the Batman animated series was amazing looking. Like it's like Art Deco to the fucking nines, dude. That thing looked so amazing. I have a feeling that's why so many people like Batman today. Like people like my age who grew up with Batman, but like Batman wasn't like the coolest thing in the world, you know? And that really, that show was just amazing looking. It's so funny because, like, to think that Batman almost got canceled a bunch of different times. Like, it almost got canceled because of like before the anim or not the animated, but the actual TV show came out. The TV show saved it, but the TV show actually also damaged the product. Like it wasn't taken as serious. And so um there was the whole was it Neil Adams who else was it? It was Neil Adams and some writer. Can't remember. They did the what was that story? They did a couple kind of weird stories, and then that's when Batman started getting fucking like kind of weird. Like they sent Robin to college, and then Batman got weird. Um, there was the one Joker story, like the 5 something something, and then there was the Ra's al Ghul storyline with Talia. Like those two storylines. I mean, they weren't like back to back, but I think they were within the same year. It was the same writing team. That really changed the whole look and feel of Batman. So, yeah, there you go. There's a little fun and bit of info for you. Little fun stuff. 5-way, the Joker's 5-way. Shit. The Ra's al Ghul story was really good. Totally. Super good. Oh my god, that's going to drive me crazy. The Joker's 5-way. What? Joker's. God damn it. 5-way revenge. God damn it. I just. There it is. The Joker's 5-way revenge. It was number 251. And let's see if I could see who wrote it. La 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 la. Oh, that's one of the questions. Denny O'Neil and Neil Adams. Boom. What is the significance of Batman 251? It marks the Joker's return to his violent roots. After being portrayed as a mass murderer during the early years of the Golden Age, the Joker was reduced to being an annoying prankster during the late years of the Golden Age and his scarce appearances during the Silver Age. There you go, guys. There you go. We all learned something. My favorite episode was when Bruce got thrown into a prison camp and made friends with this black dude. I don't remember. One of my favorite episodes of the animated series was the one where all of the criminals are playing poker and talking about how they almost got him. I think it's called I Almost Got Him. Or something like that. That was a really good one. It just looked so good. That was such a great looking show, man. What was that dude's name? Tim. Who was in charge of that show? Tim something. Tim. Bruce Timm. I knew I wasn't going crazy. All right. Paul Dini, yeah. Yeah, Tim Sale did what was that one? He did Long Halloween, right? Tim Sale did. That was also good. They didn't miss Paul Dini and Bruce Timm. Yeah, Tim Sale, I think, did Long Halloween, if I'm not mistaken. I probably am. It's been a while since I was like hard on my Batman shit. Oh yeah, too many writers to remember. Yeah, it's all good shit. I still haven't even seen the new Batman movie, the one with Edward from Twilight. I really should probably stop calling him that. But I heard that was supposed to be based on Long Halloween. Yeah, Jeff Loeb, dude. Yeah. Okay, that's an empty. This is probably kind of warm. Fuck it. Let's drink it and then complain about it later. Okay, I have a bunch of stuff to do. You guys have a bunch of stuff to do. We have a bunch of shit we got to create. Okay, because we're creating stuff now. All right, guys. All right. So hugs and kisses, the whole deal. And I will talk to you guys soon. I have videos like that are already edited for like the next like 2 weeks, but I have to like put other stuff in there because it's mainly vlogs, and I can't give you guys vlogs every day. I just can't. Okay, so there will be some like good stuff in there too. Maybe I'll go back to that whole your spouse knows more about your writing than you do kind of thing. Okay. All right. See you guys later. Bye.